Have you ever wished you could know what someone is really thinking? Not just what they say to your face, but the truth buried deep inside their heart? Imagine this. You're sitting across from a friend, smiling. But in the back of your mind, you're wondering, are they really for me or against me? Or maybe you're in business and you're about to sign a deal. The other person sounds convincing, but something inside you whispers, don't trust them. What if I told you? That prayer could unlock that inner knowing? What if prayer could sharpen your spiritual senses so much that it feels like you can read minds? I know that sounds shocking. Some might even call it impossible, but stay with me, because by the time we're done, you'll see how prayer connects you to something deeper, something that allows you to discern thoughts, intentions, and even secrets. Let's start with a story. Centuries ago in the Bible, there was a prophet named Elisha. The king of Aram was at war with Israel. Every time the king planned a secret attack, Israel's army was already prepared. Frustrated, the king shouted, "Who among us is the traitor?" But his servants replied, "None, my lord. It's Elisha the prophet. He tells the king of Israel the very words you speak in your bedroom." Did you catch that? Through prayer and intimacy with God, Elisha could know what someone else was planning, even in secret. That wasn't magic. It wasn't mind tricks. It was spiritual perception, sharpened by prayer. Now pause and think, if Elisha could do it, what's stopping you? Here's where most people get it wrong. They imagine reading minds means hearing people's thoughts word for word like a voice in your ear. That's Hollywood. That's fantasy. The reality is far deeper. When you pray, you develop spiritual sensitivity. That sensitivity can give you nudges, impressions, or sudden clarity about what someone is really thinking or feeling. It's not about invading privacy. It's about discernment. And if you've ever felt that inner voice warning you about someone, or confirming something you couldn't possibly know, you've already touched the edge of this power. But let's build some tension, because here's the catch. Not everyone wants you to see the truth. There are people who wear masks, smiling on the outside, but plotting behind closed doors. There are relationships where one person says, "I love you," but in their mind, they're planning betrayal. And the scariest part? Without prayer, you'd never know. That's why prayer isn't just a religious exercise, it's a survival tool. Because when you pray consistently, your spiritual radar sharpens. You pick up things others miss, and soon, it feels almost like you can read minds. Think about Jesus for a moment. Over and over again, the Bible says he knew their thoughts. The Pharisees didn't even speak, yet he answered their hidden questions. How? Prayer, constant connection to the Father. And here's the shocking truth. The same Spirit that revealed people's thoughts to Jesus is available to you when you pray. Now let me ask you, what would change in your life if you could sense people's real intentions? Would you avoid heartbreak? Would you make wiser business decisions? Would you escape betrayal before it happens? This is where prayer stops being routine and becomes your secret weapon. But before you get too excited, let's address the danger. Because when God begins to reveal hearts to you, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes you'll see that a close friend isn't really for you. Sometimes you'll realize someone you admire is secretly jealous. And sometimes the people you've been helping the most are the ones speaking against you. That truth can hurt, but it also protects you. Because once you see clearly, you can make better choices. Prayer doesn't make you a mind reader in the worldly sense. It makes you a discerner in the spiritual sense. And if you lean into it, God can show you more than you ever imagined. So how does this actually work in real life? Let's get practical. First, prayer creates alignment. When you pray daily, you tune your spirit to God's frequency. Think of it like adjusting a radio dial. At first, the signal is fuzzy, but the more you pray, the clearer it becomes. Soon, you'll find yourself picking up on things others can't see. Second, prayer trains your intuition. Scientists call it the subconscious mind. Believers call it the inner man. But here's the truth. When you pray, you're feeding your spirit. And your spirit has eyes and ears sharper than the natural. Suddenly, you just know when someone isn't being honest. You just sense when a deal isn't right. That isn't coincidence. That's discernment. Third, prayer opens the door for supernatural insight. Let me give you a real-life testimony. There was a woman who kept praying for clarity about her relationship. She loved the man, but something didn't feel right. One night in prayer, she suddenly saw a mental picture of him texting another woman. The next week, she discovered it was true. Some would call that intuition, but she knew it was God revealing the hidden truth through prayer. That's the shocking power of prayer. It exposes what's hidden. But let me be real with you. This gift isn't for gossip or manipulation. God doesn't reveal thoughts so you can control people. He reveals them so you can protect yourself, pray for others, and make wise choices. That's why humility is key, because the moment you try to use prayer as a weapon to pry into people's private lives, you've missed the purpose. Now here's the part most people don't want to hear. If you really want this kind of discernment, you can't just pray once in a while. You have to make prayer a lifestyle, daily, persistent, consistent. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, you might only feel small nudges, like a gut feeling. But the more you stay in prayer, the sharper it becomes. Until one day you realize you can see through people. You can sense the truth behind the mask. And here's something even deeper. Sometimes, God will reveal not just what someone is thinking, but why. He'll show you the pain behind their anger, the fear behind their pride, the insecurity behind their lies. And when you see that, you don't just protect yourself. You can actually help them. Because prayer isn't only about exposing others, it's also about healing them. Now imagine this with me. Imagine walking into a room, and without anyone saying a word, you sense the atmosphere. You feel who's heavy with depression, who's burning with anger, who's hiding a secret. That's not magic. That's the fruit of a life soaked in prayer. And if you stay faithful, this gift can become so natural that people will say, "How did you know?" And all you can reply is, "Because I prayed." So let's bring it all together. Can prayer help you read minds? Not in the Hollywood sense, where you hear every word in someone's head, but in the truest, most powerful sense, yes. Prayer can help you discern intentions, pick up hidden motives, and receive supernatural insight that protects, guides, and empowers you. It's the shocking truth most people ignore. Prayer is the ultimate key to spiritual perception. And the best part? You don't need special training. You don't need psychic powers. You don't need fortune tellers. All you need is a lifestyle of prayer. Because the God who revealed secrets to Elisha, the God who showed Jesus the thoughts of men, is still alive. And he's ready to reveal things to you if only you'll pray. So here's my challenge to you. Starting tonight, pray this simple prayer. Lord, sharpen my spirit. Reveal to me what I cannot see. Protect me from deception. Show me the truth. Say it daily. Say it sincerely. And watch what happens. Soon you'll realize something shocking. You'll begin to see through people. You'll begin to sense the truth behind the mask. And you'll understand that prayer is more powerful than you ever imagined. So can prayer help you read minds? The answer is clear, absolutely. Not because you're stealing thoughts, but because God is revealing truth. And once you taste that level of clarity, your life will never be the same again.